There you are.
Hey, there we go. There we go. Let's see here. Hey, come on here, friend. I hope I'm signed on. Is you?
There you go. There it is.
Am I signed on as me or am I signed on as you?
Thomas C. Davidson is live.
I'm live, friends. Thank you for getting on here. I'm having to get on here from Brittany Renee's phone. I'm seeing some of my buddies get on here. I appreciate everybody that's gotten on here. Hey.
Okay.
I got you kind of close to me. Hey. Can you give me a little? Hey, can you
honey,
get
I
your
don't have
dog
anything
down?
to watch
Well,
you
hey,
on.
you're going. Well, hey, this is just a problem we got. If you've got Comcast, I would get rid of it. By the way, because it is a Comcast problem. There's no other way around it. So, Kathleen, how are you, friend? Thank you for bailing us out. Big Kahuna, my friend Kent Warner, David, Brother Woodall. Thank you for getting on here, Brother Woodall. I hope you stay on here because I'm probably going to mention you some tonight. I need you to stay on here.
Hey, David.
Kira Kemp, friend. All right. Every Thursday night, me and Brittany Renee come to you live, 8 o'clock. Carrie Ann Sear, my buddy. How are you doing? 8 o'clock Thursday night, we do Straight from the Gut. The purpose of the show is really for me to reflect back on my life. And I like to take things from my past and use them as a learning experience. Imagine if you're out there and I could tell you something that would help you overcome something that maybe you didn't have to go through it just because you listened to me or you listened to somebody that was tuned in here. So I like to reflect back on my life and I like to share stories. I like to give insight. There's a big part of me that is a teacher. I don't mind at all sharing my vulnerabilities and talking about my problems. It looks like we got a bad connection, by the way. So, John Case, how are you? I've also got a cold. So everybody, if you're on here tonight, I do appreciate it. If you would please like, please comment, please entertain other people on here, and please share the stream. If you'll share my stream, this feels awkward to me. Like
Am I too close,
yeah,
honey?
you're like right on top of me. I like it. I like it when you're across from me.
Well, I can't
and you
see,
can
though.
Talk,
I like to be able to
me.
see what's going on in the comments.
And you can share. So, hey, Brittany Renee is like right here, my co-pilot tonight, which is very, very,
Hi.
It's very different for me because I'm on her phone. But hey, I need a little space. We got a dog, her angry dog in here. Who is it? Hey, Cousin Charlie, thank you for getting on here. So, hey, tonight, I don't know how many of you people know this, Travis. Hey, we're about to do something for you coming up in the next week, helping us out with getting so much attention with the T-shirt. So we're going to Hey, are we back on here? All right, yeah, that's lucky. I hope that we can continue to, baby. Where are you going? Are you, I don't know if the video, I don't know if I'm still on here or not. The stream keeps interrupting. I apologize. Swifty, can you tell if this has continued to go? I can't tell if I'm still on here. Anyway, I want to try to get to this. Are you coming in here? Hey, come on. Hey, right here. Hey, you're just right here. Calm down. Right here. Just need you right here. It's because I need you. Dirty Dancing. All right. I don't know. Am I still live? Can you still see me? All right. Thank you. All right. Here's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about my what I learned from dancing. How long ago did I commit to doing this?
A few months ago.
Few? Mm-hmm. Like how many?
4 or 5.
4 or 5. I think I committed to do this in May. And this was something that my buddy Tony Woodall got me to do. Thank you, Kara. And honestly, it was something I agreed to do, and I didn't know if I wanted to do it, but I did it. And every week I had to go and I had to practice. I had to practice twice. I think we're going to make it. I think, but I don't know for sure. I'm on Brittany's phone because my phone doesn't work. But I had to practice twice a week, and I was very uncomfortable. I was very, very... I really didn't like doing it. I didn't like doing it at all, did I?
No.
So here's what I did learn from it. Because with that being said, last night it was over. The Dancing with the Stars was over. The fundraising was over. And I was relieved that I did it. I was fully relieved. I was grateful that I endured it. And I've got 5 things that this taught me. So I'm going to go through these and we can talk about this. Because I don't want to limit this to learning one thing of going through what I went through. This can go through a lot of different aspects of your life. So number 1, what I learned, commit first without consideration. What that means is whenever you've decided you may want to do something, you commit to doing it.
With a capital C.
With a capital C. You commit to do it. And even if you may be in a moment where you don't think you can do it, but it's something that you're going to do, you've just got to commit. And you're going to say, I'm going to do this. And there's going to be a lot of doubt for me thinking about dancing. How many people were there last night?
About 350, 400.
4,000 people?
Yeah.
There was probably 10,000 people.
10.
There was probably 10,000 people at this event last night. So all these things were going through my mind before that. Excuse me. Before that. And so whenever I initially decided I was going to do this, all these thoughts were going through my mind. And I knew that I don't know how to dance. I knew it was going to be embarrassing. I knew my friends were going to be embarrassed. I knew Brittany Renee, were you embarrassed?
No, I was
Did you
proud.
think you were going to be embarrassed?
No, I was nervous for you.
But obviously, I'm not a good dancer, so I'm committing to do something in front of all these people that were going to see it. I even put it on Kathleen put it on Facebook Live last night. So I committed to do something that I knew, I knew that, hey, Weatherman, thanks for getting on here. I knew I was limited. I knew I wouldn't get very much better. I hated going to practice. I feel very uncomfortable dancing. But I was not going to let that stop me from doing something, because the reason why I decided to do this, I appreciate the likes, kids. The reason why I decided to do this was I wanted to raise money. I wanted to raise money for Reconstructing for Life, which helps people with breast cancer or any types of surgeries where people can't afford it. And I was hell-bent on being number 1. I wanted to be the number 1 fundraiser. And I was not. We found out I was not number 1.
You were second, though.
I was second. And that
should have been first.
And that's going to be something, a bonus. This is one thing I learned, but it's going to be the bonus. And everybody on here, you need to be aware of this. But I was second. But the guy, Dave Davis, he raised nearly twice as much as I did.
I think so.
I think I raised about $5,500. Dave raised 11,000. Hey, Lucas, thank you for getting on here. Jenny Gale, Weatherman, thank y'all for getting on here. Please like my stream. Please comment. Yeah, but he did a great job. He was a better. Hey, there's my partner on here right now. Thank you. But I didn't want to do it, but I made the decision I was going to do it. And there was a lot of times where doubt crept in, where I was going to not do it, but Gina, she helped me out. She was awesome. Brittany Renee, my mom even got involved. So here's what you do whenever you decide there's something really big in your life that you want to do, or that you want to do, that you know, like you and the exchange. Mm-hmm. You committed. Brittany Renee committed to that exchange, and I've never really seen her move as fast as she moved on that idea. She committed, I committed to dancing, and then you figure it out. Mm-hmm. You don't figure things, there will never be a such thing as perfect timing. You will never say, I'm going to do this when it's time, and you work towards that, because so many things happen that you can't see. And you can never, ever have control over your emotions to eliminate that fear until you just make the decision. This is what I'm doing. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to figure that out. Number 2, being uncomfortable is a key to growth. Mm-hmm. So, Misty Shea Cole can't always be number 1, but still got a lot of good. Glad to partner with you, GTT. Proud of you. Hey, Misty, thank you and First Bank for your help, by the way, and the shirts that day. I really did appreciate that. That was very nice of you. I appreciate you buying all those shirts. But being uncomfortable is a huge key to growing. And if I'm looking back in my life, there's so many times where I've stayed stagnant because I've stayed
in your comfort zone.
I've stayed in my comfort zone. You've got to do things in your life. You've got to create new problems. You've got to. My coach is on here, Rod Key. He helps me being uncomfortable every day we work out, because if I could go into the gym, my workouts would not be near the same without Rod Key.
Right.
He will help me push myself to another limit. It's very hard. I can't really do it on my own. I know I won't do it on my own. I need somebody. So what you've got to do today, Matt Monero was at Coach Burt's office, and he talks about obstacles. I wish I could draw this, but whenever you're 18 years old, you've got everything figured out. I did. I think most people have everything figured out. So at 18 years old, you've got everything figured out.
You have everything.
Well, of course, you don't have it, but in your mind, you've got it figured out. Then you come to your first obstacle. Okay. Then your first obstacle, you get to it, and you've got a new view. You've got a new viewpoint. I overcame this obstacle. Some people don't get over obstacles. They never do. They never climb the obstacle. Then they may go around the obstacle and they'll come to another obstacle, but they're never getting above it. So you should focus on getting to an obstacle, getting over it, moving on, and then getting over higher obstacles, bigger obstacles in your life. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Sure does.
It was a great illustration that he showed. If I had a bulletin board back here, I would show you that. So how many obstacles are in your life right now? If you don't have challenges in your life to push you, to challenge you, you're probably not going to grow at least as much as you'd like. What kind of obstacles have you got in your life right now?
Well, so how do you create obstacles? If someone feels like at this moment in time they don't really have any, which is very rare.
That was a good question.
But how do you create obstacles?
You've got to issue new challenges, new goals, new things that will light you up. If not, you'll get bored. Mm-hmm. So for me, it was the dancing thing. It was it's raising my target, usually with income or what I want to produce, or so. My weak points is always a huge help for me. It should always be something that's going to help you, Kim. But you've got to set things in your life that's going to push you. So it's really to explain with health and wellness. I want to lose weight. I want to go out and I want to run X amount at X amount of time. I want to do whatever. You can really challenge yourself when you can see these results, tangible results. So how could you do it in your life? What would be something right now that'd be a fear for you? What is something you feel uncomfortable doing? What is something you on here, Kyle Clemmer? What would you feel uncomfortable? Kurt, what would you feel uncomfortable doing? Give me something. To me, dancing in public and flying on airplanes are two things I hate doing. Those are two things.
I don't know, baby.
Well,
You know more than me.
Well, okay. To be honest with you, the first few times I got on and did a recorded session of a stream like this.
Like a live?
I don't even know if we recorded it. I remember I interviewed John Floyd. That was the first person. Well, John Jones.
Hometown, boomtown.
My hometown, our boomtown. Kim Nace, thank you for getting on here, friend. The first time I ever interviewed somebody, I knew video was where I wanted to go. I knew that for me to get to the next level, I was going to have to get much better at talking on video. Mm-hmm. First time I did it, I stopped at Bar Louie and I had 5 shots of vodka. That was the first.
Way?
Yeah. I remember I was interviewing John Jones the first time at 2:00, and I went to Bar Louie and I had 5 shots of vodka. And I remember sitting in there. I'd been on camera with Bert a few times, but this was
Did that help?
Yeah, it calmed my nerves because I was sitting in a studio with these bright lights and a camera, and this guy over in the corner, and it was me. I had to start talking.
Yeah.
And then I brought him in, and I had to ask questions. I took my jacket off, and I was soaked because of how hot it was. I was sweating out, and I literally did this for probably. I remember I probably stopped whenever I brought Shane Reeves on. I think Shane Reeves is a guy. I didn't want him to think I was up there drinking. I'll never get 5 shots of vodka. I didn't want to do it around Shane, but these were new obstacles in my life. I knew I was going to have to get better. I remember the first time Michael Burt did a TV show, and I was in it, and I was amazed at how well he could speak. Nothing slowed down. He just talked right through it. He could talk, he could counter, he could pivot. Nothing ever slowed him down. Hey, everybody, I appreciate the likes. Hey, Richard Neese, thank you for getting on here. The lights are hot. I remember back in the day, you used to do a show, Misty Cole, way back in the day. You and Andrea, didn't you? Didn't y'all do a show back in the day? So that was a new obstacle in my life that I knew I was going to have to do. I just kept fighting through it. Mm-hmm. So for you, you started doing videos. Mm-hmm. So what can you do now to expand to get to another level? What can you do more of? So I've got to come up with new challenges. If you don't have these new challenges, you get in your comfort zone and you stay stagnant. You stop growing. If you stop growing, you're really declining. You're either getting better or you're getting worse. Mm-hmm. Staying the same, you're getting worse. Got anything?
No, not right now.
Number 3, this is something that I have learned, and Dancing with the Stars definitely helped me understand that, but other things have helped me understand this as well. When you prepare, anything is possible. So whenever I went to all this practice, I went twice a week. I wouldn't go in there very long, but I was going in there, and it got to where Gina made this so easy for me. All I had to do was just kind of, you saw what I did. But I still had to know some stuff. Mm-hmm. But when we went out there, you believe this or not, there was no part of me that was nervous when I went out there. Like, did I look nervous?
No.
I mean, there was absolutely no part of me because I knew the dance. I know it. So hey, Lucas, thank you for getting on here, buddy. If you're not growing, you're dying, just like the Daylily King says. So for me, over the last 2 years, I have focused so much on sales. Mm-hmm. And now I feel like I know it. So whenever I'm talking to somebody, I don't get nervous. I don't panic. I don't get upset. I don't get emotional. I don't do anything because I know. KNOW. So whenever you're unprepared, whenever you don't know things, you get antsy. You get nervous. You start to say things that aren't right. Mm-hmm. So whenever you practice, when you prepare, anything is possible.
Right.
Anything is possible. Kyle, public speaking, but yet I got into my coaching role at work. You know, that would be something maybe. I love to speak in front of people. I've done it a few times, Kyle, and it's a great adrenaline rush. Mm-hmm. And I've gone up there unprepared a few times. That makes it a little more challenging. Just straight off the
obstacle.
I mean, this right here, when me and Brittany first started doing this, I used to take a lot more notes, but I now it's very natural for me.
Yeah, because you KNOW it.
KNOW. Richard
Neese.
If
you don't know it, you can fake it till you make it.
Maybe. Mm-hmm. Some people can, some people can't. Richard Neese, he still gets nervous talking to a big brand like me. Richard Neese, I'm not a big brand at all, but I definitely appreciate that. That makes me feel good about myself. Today, I don't know if you watched one of my videos, but whenever, number 1, I talked about committing first without consideration. That's what I did with the brand GoodTimeTommy, because I did not know where I was going to go with that. I just know I committed I was committed to building a brand called Good Time Tommy. I'd love to do a TED Talk one day. That would be awesome. Me and Brittany just watched Ty Lopez TED Talk. It has like 8 million views. But I would love, whenever I started the Good Time Tommy brand, I did not know where it was going. I just know it was something I was committed to doing. And last night was a part of what Good Time Tommy is about. Last night, I went out, I had fun. I think I was one of the funner guys there. Girl, one of the funnest people there. Hey, your phone's about to die. Funnest people there. I was loud. I was fun, and I was one of the only. How many people got all 10s? I got all 10s. Just got on. Explain myself. I did get all 10s. I don't know. Hey, Mama, thank you for getting on here. By the way, I love you. How many other people got all 10s?
I mean, if there was anybody, I think it was just one other person.
Well, the reason why I got all 10s was not because of my dance performance. Obviously, it was because of my energy. So
right.
when people, whenever people think of Good Time Tommy, I want them to walk away feeling a certain way. I want them to think, man, that guy really believes in himself.
Right.
He brings a lot of energy. He has a lot of fun. He makes things look easy.
You want to leave them thinking about you.
I want. That's right.
Yes.
Where's this video? The dance is actually on my Facebook. Kathleen put it under You Shook Me All Night Long. It was an AC/DC song. There's another guy on there. You got to get through it. So, number 3, when you prepare, anything is possible. So, every day you should come in and you should prepare yourself. You should commit to getting better. Where is the video you did? It's on my Facebook, Misty Cole. If you go back a few, I know you can go back. Kimberly, people can see you, Kimberly. I'm calling you Kim. Hey, you're Kim. People can tell when you don't believe in yourself because you don't come across as genuine. So if you don't believe in yourself, don't try to cover it up and act like you do. Yeah. I mean, because people can see through.
You have low confidence in yourself. You're very transparent.
You know, I'm just me, and I feel like I've been the most confident when, hey, I can admit what I'm weak at, my flaws. It doesn't matter. So, number 1, what I learned from dancing. Commit first without consideration. That means, say you're going to do something, don't worry about all the little minor details that go along with it. If you want to do it, say I'm going to do it, I'm going to figure it out. And if you really, really, really want to do this, you will do it. Do not consider failing. Do not worry about failing. Don't worry about overanalyzing. Number 2, being uncomfortable is the key to growth. You got to become uncomfortable. Where would you be right now if you wanted to be comfortable?
Oh gosh, I don't know, baby.
You might be
be in real estate
or sell magazines.
You're right. Because remember we had that talk too.
Or it may have been before that. Who knows? But you've got to force. And she asked, how do you keep putting these obstacles in your way? How do you keep inviting challenges into your life? Mm-hmm. You got to commit to bigger things. I don't know what they are for you. For me, it's a number of houses we want to sell, the number of how much content I want to put out. We've got a party coming up in about a month. We've got to start preparing for. So I want to be uncomfortable because I know growth is on the other side of it. Number 3, when you prepare yourself, anything is possible. Number 4, you've got to repeat this over and over and over. Just because you issued one big challenge, just because you did one thing, excuse me, I'm burping up NyQuil. Just because you did one big challenge, you overcame one big obstacle, do not stop there. Don't start dying, as my buddy Lucas said.
Don't start celebrating too soon.
Issue the new challenge. Let me give you an example of how I've done this that's not right. About once every couple years, I will decide to do one 5K. So I get on my running kick. It'll go on for a few months, five weeks or so. Then I'll run the 5K. Then I might run a little after it. But I'll do one 5K. That ain't enough. You know what I should do? I should continuously be doing. I should be adding new challenges into my life. You got to keep doing that. You got to
half next year.
We're not doing that. We're not. But that was just an example. But there's something I need to add into my life right now. Now it's time for me because I'm getting fat. I'm looking at myself right here on your camera. Maybe your camera's wide angle.
I got the fat booth.
You got the fat face on me. But I can tell I'm gaining weight, and I'm gonna have to do something. I'm gonna somehow challenge myself. I'm gonna have to put some kind of challenge in place because that ain't what I want to do. I can't do that.
I think you can go bigger than the 21-day challenge. A bigger commitment.
You're probably right. Hey, I really don't tell anybody I only want 20 days. So you've got to continue to put challenges in front of you that are bigger than the last challenge, because if you do something that's the same or less, again, you're contracting, you're not growing. Number 5, this is my bonus, okay? This is what I learned last night, and everybody already knows this, but I just saw it last night. And it was so clear. It was so unfair. That's what I decided was the guy that won, the guy that raised the most money. I can challenge. What are you gonna challenge me to, Kurt? You wanna guess?
Yeah.
What?
You need a bigger network.
Oh. Did you read over this?
No, we talked about this last night.
She's over here in my notes. So,
honey, we talked about this last night. Do you remember?
Yeah, I do now.
I do listen to
Okay, so it was obvious that Dave had the biggest network there. And what I mean by that, think about this. If you've got a big network of people that can be influential, your life is so much easier. Mm-hmm. If you could go to one person or two people and they help you, he raised $11,000. And I'm not saying he did this by going to one or two people. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying I was looking around that room and everybody in there knew him or they wanted time with him. And instead of me being a baby and complaining about it, I went up to him and I said, hey, I'm very impressed by what you did.
Do you think it has to do with like right here?
No. Hey, I think we're back on here. I don't know what 20 push-ups before your night is over. I can do 20 push-ups.
Hey,
I can do that
I can
easy.
Do 20.
Brittany Renee can do. Brittany Renee
Remember?
can do. Yes, I've seen Brittany Renee do 30 push-ups. But think about this. And bigger networks than us. Well, okay, not bigger than you, Misty Cole. But we watched this tonight. Me and Brittany Renee watched this TED Talk, and he breaks it down. He calls it 33%. Mm-hmm. 33% of your Trevor Giles, how are you doing, old buddy? 33% of your relationships would be people that are equivalent to you or lower. Lower. Well, let's just say they're lower than you. And I think he was really basing this on education and financial. Mm-hmm. How much money? Because these people, you're giving back to them. You're helping them out. And they're also saying thank you because they appreciate what you're doing. And it's making you feel good.
Not only that, but you can learn something from everybody. People that are, below your level, above your level, or even equivalent to your level. You can always learn something from somebody.
But I think what he was saying was, it's your duty, it's your responsibility to help out people. Mm-hmm. You should never, like there's been so
humble.
He did talk about humility. There's been so many people in my life that have given me time that I didn't deserve. They were at such a higher level than me, but they did that. And it would be unfair for people to not reciprocate that or give back to other people. So you should be giving back to 33% of people. That's where 33% of your time should go, to people that are less fortunate than you. Mm-hmm. 33% should be spent on people that are equivalent with you. 33% of your time should be there. So the part he says that people really forget about is spending 33% of your time. Connection I know, Mama, I do. It's so frustrating. And I wish I could get a hold of somebody with Comcast and I would tell them. I think, hey, here's how bad Comcast is. How many lines do we have here? How many networks do we have here? We've got 2 networks in this. 2 routers in this house. And you know what sucks? I can't even get on. I've got a GoodTimeTommy 5G network. I can't even get on. It won't even let me get on it. How do you explain that?
Well, and it lets me get on it, but then it bounces between that and then another weaker router.
I got people.
Okay, we'll do it in a minute.
Hey, you can't interrupt the show over a glass.
I don't know where it went.
Well, we'll have to find it. But hey, the show's got to go on. So, Comcast. But we were talking about the 33%. I'm sorry if I lost you. But 33% of your time should go with people that are less fortunate than you. It's your responsibility to help them out. 33% of your time should be spent with people that are equal to you. 33%. This is where it becomes your job. And today in that class I was in, it's very uncomfortable to start asking people that you know are on a much higher level than you to spend time with you. It's very hard for people because of different reasons. Maybe they feel about themselves. Maybe they don't feel like they're worthy. Whatever reason that's going on internally, people have a fear of asking people that are at a much higher level than them to give me an hour. I don't know why, because most people would give that time to you. Mm-hmm. It's your responsibility. It's my responsibility. It's Brittany Renee's responsibility to get around people 33% of the time that are playing at a much higher level. And when you get around these people, they will give you shortcuts. They'll give you advantages that you won't get otherwise.
Right.
They
learned it.
They learned it. Now, if I could just tell you some shortcuts, if I could tell you this is what you need to do, maybe you don't have to go through so many steps that others may not. Like, I've been in real estate for 14 years, and there's been people that have come into my life that have definitely made that, they've given me shortcuts. Now, a part of my problem is I have not always listened to people. I've probably been stubborn. I've been lazy. My good buddy Tim Dutton just got on here. Kira, Trisha King, how are you doing, Mac friend? But Tim, the higher level. Okay, John K. said explain the higher level. How do you know who deserves your comments? That's what my mama wants to know. Okay, John K.'s higher level. Tim Dutton's a good buddy of mine. He just got on here. And for years, Tim Dutton would give me a lot of time. He would give me a lot of attention. He would teach me how to get through situations financially that I didn't know. He didn't have to do that because he was given time in the bottom 33% of his time, which would have been me. Tim Dutton made a lot more money than me, but he was telling me things that I didn't know, but they were very simple to him. So that 33% to me was at a much higher level, John. I was spending as much time with Tim Dutton as I possibly could. Tim would take time, which he didn't have to do. But for some reason, he felt like, hey, I'm going to help Tommy. Mm-hmm. So that was in his bottom 33%, but it was in my top 33%. Right. So, John, I don't know if that explains what I'm saying, but a higher level is somebody that's playing at a much higher level than I am. So I don't know if there's somebody out there, John, that's playing that has a better. I don't know if there's a coach or somebody that you could go to that would help you, but there's definitely people. Think about the people that are out there that are playing at a higher level. They're out there, and they would be very willing to help you.
Higher income.
That's right.
There's just so many people that are in that 33%.
That's exactly right. So hey, Ben Wood, how are you doing, friend? Mama, I don't know what you mean by how do you know who deserves your comments. Do you know what she means by that? Like
if you're in the higher 33%, how do you know or determine who deserves
my comments,
your help and advice?
Well, Tim Dutton could have easily said, Tommy, you don't deserve this. I'm not going to give you this. But I think the reason why Tim always did that is because he knew how important it was to me. I didn't give him a reason not to. He would always take time. He would say, hey, go in there and get your list.
But also, one thing that, to answer her question in that TED Talks, him going to his mentor and saying, I'll work for you for free.
Great point.
If you show me what you know.
Great point. I think the person that is requiring the time has got to be humble and is willing to pay the price, is not looking for anything out of it. Like this guy. He went to work for somebody. He wasn't going to get paid anything, but he's made his win was just to get time from that person.
And to learn what he knew.
So, yeah. So, Mom, that's the way I would look at it. So if somebody was just willing to listen to me, if they were going to sit and they appeared to appreciate it, I'm going to give people time I'll do whatever I can to help them out. So I hope that helped. But I think I'm about to start losing people. I've been going about 41 minutes. So those were things I learned last night. Commit first without consideration. You don't have to know what you're going to do. Tim, whenever you decide you're going to be a building company or you bought a store, some of the greatest things you probably have done, you decided you were going to do it without considering things. Number 2, you got to get uncomfortable. Me and Timmy talked about that this morning. Whenever you're comfortable, you're slowly contracting. You're slowly starting to lose whenever you get comfortable. Number 3, when you prepare, anything is possible. When you KNOW, when you know something, anything's possible. Number 5, you got to repeat these over and over and over, and you got to keep putting bigger challenges into your life. And last, the bonus, networks, relationships make life unfair. Now, I'm not saying those people don't deserve what they're getting, because it's up to each and every one of us to go out there and develop networks, relationships with people. Like the guy that raised all that money. He probably didn't work as hard as I did. He just had more networks. He had more people. He had more people pulling for him. So here's what that taught me. 33% of my time should be spending 33% of my time, I should be focusing on people that are in a much higher position than me. I should just be getting around them. And all I'm asking for from them is their time. I don't want anything. They can't give me anything. I just want to be around them. I want to know how they think. I want to know how they deal with problems. I want to know how they look at situations. And maybe they can just tell me 1 or 2 things that can change what I'm doing, that can create something much bigger than what I'm doing. So, guys, I appreciate you getting on here. I've got a sinus infection, so I'll start coughing. So I'm about to. It's about my bedtime right now. But every Thursday night, I love to come. This is my way of people. Usually, what I'm teaching is somebody from a much higher level has taught me. A lot of this stuff is not just my stuff. A lot of my bad experience in this come from me, but a lot of the knowledge that I give is obviously come from people that think at a much higher level than me. So, hey, close this. Focus on spending 33% of your time with people that are in a better place. So, hey, guys, thank you so much. Please comment, like, share this stream, and tune back in next Thursday night at 8 o'clock.